major news for the Cleveland Browns today, and this changes everything for them. First of all, we have a Deshaun Watson update. We're going to look at what Kevin Stefanski actually said about his timetable and the news that he's back at practice. Shedeur Sanders spoke to the media today as well about some things that he wants to clean up. We're going to look ahead to Browns-Titans and what to watch for. And finally, some big injury news for the Cleveland Browns. You're not going to want to miss it. I'm your host, Joey O'Donohue. Before we get into all the Browns news, we've started a Week 14 sub-battle with our Titans Today channel here at Chat Sports. Guys, I know we can crush them in subscribers. So if you want Shedeur to outplay Cam Ward and beat the Titans on the field and off the field at Chat Sports, hit that subscribe button. We'll be live for the game. You're not going to want to miss it. Kevin Stefanski said this about Deshaun Watson. Okay, we're going to activate Deshaun's practice window, so he'll be out there today, which is outstanding for Deshaun. He's been working so hard, rehabbing. So finally, to get out there on the practice field with his teammates to go through individual, I think this is really great for him. So excited for him. His focus, my focus, is obviously getting him back to playing football, practicing football, which he hasn't done in over a year. So it's a good next step for him. Reporter followed up and said, Kevin, is it a desire of the organization to see him on the playing field if possible? Stefanski just said, yeah, really not my focus, not his focus right this minute. His focus is putting a helmet on again for the first time, shoulder pads, throwing a football. That's where the focus is. But it's reasonable to assume that he'll be in play perhaps even later this year and definitely next year. I think that was a key part of what Stefanski had said was that his focus is getting him on the practice field, getting him ready, and to play football again. And he's making so much money. Next year, the cap hit for Watson is over $80 million. And so he'll be, if he's activated to the roster, one of three quarterbacks there. Dylan Gabriel has kind of been soft-benched in a way, and Stefanski said he's taking it week to week by quarterback. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that Deshaun Watson gets in a football game. I have a full video on this topic, so if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it already. There's a lot to know about the Watson situation. And another viral thing that had happened in Cleveland earlier this week was Jeudy on the sideline yelling at Shedeur. Well, both of them spoke about this incident, if you want to call it that, where Jeudy was just riled up, animated, going over something with Shedeur on the tablet. Have they smoothed things over? What's their relationship looking like? Their chemistry? Here's what Jeudy had to say about if he would done anything differently in that moment. And Jeudy said, well, I probably would have talked to him off camera. It's probably what I would have done differently. I'm going to speak my mind and say what I see out there, but it is what it is. It's football. Me and Shedeur are good. Stuff like that happens. And I think that's the main point here for Jeudy is, you got to be mindful. The cameras are around. You got to be mindful. I know this frustration stuff's building up. This is the guy's second ever NFL start. And you haven't been perfect all year, Jeudy. I mean, you calm down. You got to be better too. You've been dropping passes all year long. Maybe that's why quarterbacks don't trust you, Jeudy. You're over there running your mouth. I mean, relax a little bit. I'm glad they smoothed it over. I understand why things get heated, especially for wide receiver ones. If you feel like, you're running good routes and not getting the ball, I get it. But, Jeudy, you don't have much room to talk this year, to be quite frank. And so coach him up if you think there's a problem. But the screaming on the sideline is just a bad look for the organization, the Browns, the drama, all of it. And, Shedeur, he was not the reason we lost that 49ers game. But there were areas that Shedeur even here says he would like to improve in. He says he wants to go out there and see it and just hit it, See it and hit it. Trust my eyes, understand everything that I've been studying in the game, I'll say is slowing down a little bit for me. Just trust what I see. Sometimes I look for the big play, and I do that when I feel like I'm pressing. Like I feel like we need to get a spark. We need to get the energy. That's typically when I do that, whenever we are stagnant. So that's something I review with myself, and I know in those situations I can't do that at certain times. But that's just something I live, and I'm going to grow from in doing that. And just trusting the team, trusting everybody, that things are going to be all right. I think this is a major positive, Browns fans, that Shedeur is able to pinpoint the areas that he wants to improve in. Because watching the tape, watching the film, that's the exact thing that I would point to, right? First half, he was actually great. Great completion percentage. That touchdown towards the end was looking very solid. But there were moments, where he did hold it too long, where he could have let it fly, he could have let it rip. And I think it's just the game plan's super conservative. He's getting his feet wet, right? And he missed a couple things. But being able to point that out and say he's going to go out there, he knows what to do now and fix it. This could help accelerate development. This could help show he can earn his way to remain the starter for the rest of the year and be in contention to start next year as well. I think it's going to look great this Sunday. I think the fact that he's able to call it out, say, this is what I'm going to do. This is my emphasis this week. And this was the only issue for him, was holding it too long. Let it fly. Trust yourself. Hit those plays that we know you can do against that Titans defense. I think we're in for a treat, Browns fans. We're going to be fired up on the watch party. You're not going to miss it. Another fun thing about this storyline is Skip Bayless still stands that Shedeur should have been drafted over Cam Ward. We're talking first overall pick in the NFL draft when Shedeur slid all the way to the 5th round. And so a lot of people that do feel this way are saying, oh, what a moment here on the big stage to face off against Cam Ward. When those two practiced a lot together, have a relationship leading up to the draft. Imagine if Shedeur outplays Cam Ward and the Browns beat the Titans. That's a statement. Lots of eyes going to be watching and hoping that happens. I certainly do. But how do you feel, Browns fans? Do you want the Browns to beat the Titans? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Because some people saying they want to lose now to get a better draft pick. But the fan in me, even if I said that, when I turn on the game, I'd be pissed off seeing the Browns turn things over and lose. So I want to see winning football. I want to see flashes in this back half of the season. I want excitement and momentum going into next year so I know what we need to target in the NFL draft. But what do you want to happen? Y for yes to beat Tennessee, N for no if you're done. Let me know in the comments section. Lots more to talk about and look at here for the Browns news today. But before we get into all of it, I want to tell you guys about our friends over at Prize Picks. It is the holiday season, the best time of year for sports, bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes. It is all happening at once. And while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which game to watch, there's one place where it feels good to be right. Prize Picks. I love this app, man. It's a lot of fun. I win money on it. And covering the Browns helps me know what picks to make. When the coaches said we got to get Jeudy more involved, I picked more on his projections against the Jets, and I was right. When Cleveland plays a bad run defense, I'm all in on Quinshon Judkins. And new feature alert. Prize Picks now has early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you may now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. I'm hoping I cash in this Browns-Titans matchup this Sunday. I've got Cam Ward, more than half an interception. I think our defense will be all over him. Give me more on half a touchdown for Quinshon Judkins. And as always, the more on Shedeur. It's worked for me. More than half a passing touchdown, more than 124.5 passing yards. That's my lineup. You can make one just like it, but you got to download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Some news on Wyatt Teller. You may have heard that he will sit out against the Titans this Sunday, and Tevin Jenkins will be starting at guard for the Cleveland Browns. This was something they started rotating Teller in and out against the Niners on Sunday with Jenkins. And so Teller getting up there in age on a contract year, he says he thinks it's for poor play. So we'll see what Tevin Jenkins can do. I think is actually a promising young guard in Cleveland's room. He will get the nod. Some Browns players that did not practice on Wednesday. Devin Bush. Jack Conklin's hurt again. Concussion protocol for our right tackle. Isaiah McGuire, Dylan Sampson. Would love to see him be able to rally and get out there. I think having him get more integrated and more involved has been working well for the Browns' run game, but he has that calf injury, so we'll see and monitor his status. Finally, Aiden Huntington also did not practice with the quad injury. But without McGuire and Huntington, well, you look at the Browns' defensive line depth chart, and it's starting to get a little bit thin. Malik Collins out for the year now, too. And so if you don't have McGuire or Huntington, I mean, It's a little bit thin, but thankfully we have the deepest D-line in the league, I believe, and one of the best overall units. Alex Wright hasn't played in a couple weeks either, but he returned to practice finally, which is huge for the Cleveland Browns. And some other Browns defensive line notes to note is that Alex Wright is not only back, but they signed Sam Kamara to the active roster, a replacement for Malik Collins already. And so, like I said, it's a deep unit, it's a talented unit, and guess what? It has. That trumps everything. The best player in all of football. Literally. You can't make the argument that he isn't. And we're going up against the Tennessee Titans and Cam Ward. Cam Ward's been sacked more than any other quarterback in the NFL this year. 48 times through 13 weeks. Oh, boy. If you don't think 95 can have a field day against the Titans, what are they going to do? What are you going to do? Triple team him? You have to. But guess what? We got Mason Graham that'll come through and disrupt. He's been applying more pressure lately. He needs, Myles Garrett, 4 sacks to break the NFL single-season sack record. We got 5 games left. He could do it Sunday if he really wants to. I think he breaks the record. We're watching history. We're watching greatness. He's a player that is more than generational. We're blessed to have him here in Cleveland. And I wish we were getting some more wins for Myles, but he is having a season for the ages. So let's get in the comments section and spam his number. Everybody spam 95 down there. I want to see 195s in the comment section because this season is unprecedented. He is no doubt the defensive player in the year, and he should be, if we had a better record, he would be MVP. Myles Garrett putting up a historic season. Everybody spam those 95s, folks. And make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a piece of Cleveland Browns news. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in to this edition of the show today. It's always a lot of fun to hop on here and talk Cleveland Browns football through the good, through the bad, the ugly. I'm here for you for all of it. So hit that sub button, and we'll see you very shortly here on the show.